Hey peeps, welcome back to another video on the saloon. Quick fire with this one. If you watched the last one, you know I was humming and ahhing about taking the livery off. So that's off. But we're also going to get into some of the mechanicals on this car, show you a bit of the underside and show you what I'm up to, just to get the car prepped for a bit of track use. So yeah, let's get straight to it. I'll show you what I've been up to. So first things first, you'll notice the livery is now gone, completely gone. The wang is still here for now, haven't got round to addressing that, but the livery's off. So yeah, pretty happy. Most of the paint's still intact, so it looks fairly presentable for now. Yeah, no more livery. I've also been busy pulling sound deadening out of the car and excess weight. That's how much we've pulled out so far. A few other bits and pieces, the emergency triangle cover, rear lights. Speakers are still in there, I'm undecided if they're going yet. So we've pulled a whole load of weight out of it. Same in the back. All sound deadening from up there's gone. There's gone. I've just started on the floors, but lost interest. So we'll come back to that in a bit. It's pretty boring. But yeah, so we have done some weight reduction. Looking much better without the green livery on. I'll also show you what we've been up to on the underside. So this car has been off the road for 2 years, but it hasn't been used during that time. So annoyingly, there's a few more bits I need to do underneath before I'd say it's track ready, which is a bit disappointing, but we are where we are. So let me show you what I need to do. So firstly, there's no handbrake assembly on either side. So that side is missing it as well, so we need to add a handbrake assembly, we need to add some brakes, we need to add calipers, carriers, all of that stuff. It's much the same on this side. Again, missing calipers, carriers, handbrake assembly, handbrake shoes, etc. And also we're missing a shaft on this side. The anti-roll bars drop down as well. So I thought, great, I'll have that done in a few hours. Anyway, as usual, it's always worse than it looks. So I've just been digging through, and this brake pipe actually looks okay. The union looks disgusting. And I'd like to put some nice braided lines on it, because these pipes are split. They're obviously perished, and whilst we've got it apart. So that's really annoying, because the line is good, but the union is crap. So we might need to do both rear brake lines. And I'll tell you why I'm considering doing both, because if you come round to the driver's side, that's what that brake pipe looks like. So that is ready for the bin, but it's not just there, it's gone. It's also gone underneath here. So yeah, that's sketchy as anything. That needs to be addressed. So yeah, gonna have to do brake lines on it, which is not fun. And annoyingly, it's a facelift car, so it's got two full lines all the way from the front that come up to the back. You can probably just about see them there. It looks like one's been done already, so I think that they've done the passenger side, but they've not put a fucking new union on it, which is so frustrating, because you put a new union on it and it, you know, she's good as gold. Because the union looks fucked, because they probably reused it, I'm now up shit street basically having to redo that. But hopefully that side is copper, so I can cut the end off, put a new union on it, and then just re-flare it. Whereas if it's steel, I never seem to have much luck being able to flare them. So yeah, hopefully just the one line to replace fully, which is still shit, but whatever. So there's the proper way of doing it is to drop the tank out, and you can run it nicely. I'm not that fussed on this car. It's not like a mint car, it's just a usable track car. But I'm still gonna have to do a relatively good job, so I've got to figure out how I'm gonna tackle that. I'm probably still gonna have to drop the tank and at least run it most of where it should be, kind of thing. But what's also annoying, and I've just noticed, so it's got this M3 back box on it, which is cool, good nick. Diffuser needs trimming, because yeah, melty. But I've just gone underneath, and I thought, cool, that exhaust is close to the diff carrier. There, it's very close. But I'm looking at the hangers, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. There's no hanger, it's just a bit of shitty welding. I think, oh well, I can probably come back to that at a later date. But I thought I better look at the other side, see what that's like. Oh, that great, that side's completely snapped off. You probably can't see it. There you go. So that side's completely snapped off. So basically this is dog shit, to put it bluntly. Ironically, it doesn't actually move a lot, but it's not the point. Like, there's no hangers, it's on a hanger on one side, which for a track car is no good. Yeah, just generally fucking annoying. So yeah, I mean, it's almost at the point of bloody dropping the rear end out and just going over it. The diff bushes have been done, front and rear, and then the 4 subframe mounts are done. So it doesn't really need the diff and subframe carrier to come out. But yeah, fucking nightmare, I tell you. The front trailing arm bushes, they're original as well. So they probably wants doing. And what was the other thing I spotted? There was another thing, but it's gone. So yeah, we've got quite a bit that needs doing, to be honest. Oh, that was it. So if I show you this. So this is the hub bush, which, if I can keep everything steady, I can literally, hang on, try and hold. There's so much play in that ball joint. That's absolutely shot. So that needs replacing. Let's see what the other sides are like. I'm guessing the same. Oh yeah. It's really hard to hold the camera steady and move my left arm, but just take my word for it, it's battered. The lower bushes will be fine, they're usually okay, but yeah, so it needs both of those top bearings doing. I guess here we go, we haven't got a choice. We'll have to, at the very least, I'm going to drop the trailing arms out, change the bushes in them. May as well put a pair of adjustable camber arms on it because we're already that far into it. A lot of the hardware looks pretty skanky as well, but yeah, so to summarise, we're going to need to do some bushes, set some brakes up, a brake line, and piss around with a back box. So yeah, fun stuff. Buy an E36, they said. Anyway, I'll get some of this stuff off and show you where we got up to. Right, that arm's off. That was lovely and easy. Thankfully this was greased, and these top bolts, camber arm and the spring perch were loose, and this has been out recently, so all of that was a breeze. So you can see what we're left with. So shaft is good, which is great. That's camber arm, we might want to bin that for some adjustable ones. This hose is pretty rusty there, perished there, which is bad, and then very rusty there. So that brake line needs to go in the bin. The pockets are good. Looks like it's already been reinforced. Looks like the subframe's got reinforcements on it as well. You might be able to see that. So yeah, I think we're going to go with dropping the back box off, prop off, and tank down in a second. But let's get the other arm off. Also, I found these front bushes are absolutely shot. Look at the play in that. So that's no good. Look at the play. Look at the play in that. Yeah, tons of play. So definitely the right thing to do, getting all of this off. The lower bush, whilst there's no play in the actual rubber, this has swollen and is very rusty. So I think we ought to just change all 4 bushes. We'll put some bearings, top and bottom, obviously track car, so anything to help with rotational movement is good. We've got the BCs in the back, so shocks are good. They've got pillow ball rear top mounts, which is great. Nice bit of rotational movement through that. So yeah, I think let's go whip the other arm off, and then we can start figuring out dropping the tank and attacking this brake line. Right, we've got this trailing arm off, much the same, pretty simple. So on this side, everything come apart great, which is great. It does have the hammer cable on this side, but that is pretty beat, so that's probably going to go in the bin. The brake line on this side has been replaced, so it's got a copper line on it. Now the union obviously hasn't been replaced, so the head of that is absolutely beat. It did come apart from there, which was quite impressive, but yeah, I mean, there's just nothing left of that head. So I've got two options here. I either replace the whole line, which seems pointless because it's already been replaced, or can I salvage this, cut this off here, put a fresh union on it, reflare it, and then see if that is long enough. There's quite a bit of excess there, so we might be able to. We've got to be careful because obviously the more you bend it, you know, you're going to fatigue it, especially if it's an old line. But we'll see if we can salvage it, I guess, and hopefully it's reusable. Fingers crossed. Right, we're a few days on. I apologise, I completely forgot to even film some of this, so I've got a bit carried away, but I'll bring you back in and show you where I'm at the moment. So to start off with, this is the original arm, which has had a ton of work. So the top and bottom bushes have been swapped out with ball joints to replicate the M3 setup, so better rotational movement. So this is what I fit to all of my refurbished subframes and stuff that I do for customers. So we've got a ball joint top and bottom. The disc backing plate I've trimmed off because I didn't want to change the wheel bearing because the wheel bearing is good. Sounds bad, but it's a prop robbing. And I don't really care about a dust shield as long as the handbrake shoes are safe and not moving around, which they'll be fine. So I'll just trim that off, and then I could put this in the press to change the bushes. Front bush, I had some Powerflex Black Series kicking around, so that's gone in there. Just some second hand ones, but again, trying to keep this fairly cheap at the moment. So that's sorted. That's all now pretty buttoned up on this side. I've just got to chuck a brake disc and some brakes on. So for the moment we're just going with a 328 rear setup. Rear brakes are vented. Well, technically it's not necessarily 328, it's a touring or a convertible rear brake setup. But yeah, vented disc, we've got a pretty good disc there, so we'll use that. And then pads wise, I think we've got EBC yellows in the front. And in the back we're just going to go with some Ferodo DS Performance. So these are like an equivalent to the DS 2500, but type approved for road use, so that's what's going in there. These are available to order on my website if you're interested. So a nice cheap sort of track day pad and hold up. You know, if you're doing like full-on circuit racing, there's probably better pads out there, like a PBS or something like that, but for just like a fun track day car, these are perfect. Don't break the bank. Like this rear setup is about 100 quid delivered. Don't hold me to that, but it's about that on the website. So I'm just going to chuck that in. The brake line that was rotten on this side, I've fixed. What I've done is I've joined it. I didn't run completely new lines because that takes a lot more time, and I'm not too worried about making this car look perfect. You might be able to see over there. I've joined it just in front of the rear floor as it sort of folds under. So it's got a joiner there. So run the line, drop the tank down, run the line all the way up and over, and she's up there. So she's got a new union, soon to have a new clip as well. When you're doing brakes on these cars, the clips and the unions are like pennies, so don't be tempted to reuse the old stuff. I don't know what I've done with the clip, but anyway, they're like 50p from the dealer. And then on these brakes here, I don't know what brand they are. Where's Moto? No idea what they are, but they're looking pretty good nick. So we're just going to chuck these onto the saloon. Again, I could stick some of my own new ones on there, but ultimately this is just a cheap build. We've got these, so it seems like a good time to make use of some, you know, parts I've got lying around. So yeah, other than that, stick the brakes on, bleed her up, rinse and repeat on that side. That needs a shaft putting in it from that rear end. Quick nut and bolt check. We need a couple of bolts, the anti-roll bar, because that's currently hanging down. And then yeah, we're good to go. So let's get these rear brakes chucked on next. Right, that's our brake line hooked up, so you can see nice new union and clip. Those clips are available from the dealer for less than £1 each, and the unions are just generic eBay stainless steel ones, so no excuse for reusing components when they're that cheap. Obviously going to need to bleed the brakes. Disc is on, carrier's on. There's our Ferodo pads. Just literally about to chuck these on now. Not the biggest brakes in the world, but we've got all the bits and pieces. Keep the budget down for the moment, which is good. What I do need to do is find the little retaining clip, because I can't seem to find that at the moment. and we need some caps for the these little jobbies that keep the sliders safe. Also, just a note with BMW brakes, they say not to grease the sliders, so these just want to go in clean, no lube on them, because all that happens is like that, it just sort of gums up. So yeah, make sure they're squeaky clean but no grease on them. Right, we're on to the passenger side now. So I've mounted up the trailing arm, that's all bolted into the body. All these bits and bobs are in. Disc is on, so we've just got to fit our caliper and our new pads on this side. The brake line was just about able to manage. It's a bit mangled, but I managed to cut it off and stick a new thread in there. So that's, we're going to send it and see if it leaks. Hopefully it doesn't. We'll soon know, because I haven't put the tank back in place. I'm going to bleed the brakes first and see if they come back around. Also, these discs are quite rusty, so I mean, they might not be any good for reusing, to be honest, because they're quite pitted, but they're on the back, so we shouldn't get too much wheel wobble. So we'll see how they are. If they're scrap, they're scrap. We can always change them. But yeah, so we've got to chuck these brakes on. I also need to have a look. I've noticed since working on this that the diff seems to be leaking, which you can see from there. She's a bit moist. So what I might do is just undo the bolts for it and take this cover off, not take the diff out, but just try and reseal it whilst it's in the car. The car's pointing, well, we got the back end of the car up, so I should be able to reseal it without making too much of a mess. So yeah, another nice little job. And then we do need to obviously address this hanger situation, because it's been badly welded, which isn't good. So we're gonna have to look at that in a minute. That might be a job for another video, to be honest, because that's going to be a headache. And we've also got our shaft out and ready to go back in this side. Right, we're a couple of days on, didn't get the saloon finished, put it all back together, but unfortunately this wheel bearing is fucked. And that's basically because the guy who I bought the car from had taken the passenger shaft out, because he needed the shaft for another car, which is fair enough. But with these bearings in E36, E46, or probably most wheel bearings, to be fair, it relies on the shaft being there and the nut keeping it all squished together. So when the shaft isn't in the car and then you move the car, i.e. roll it around, drive it, whatever you do, the wheel bearing can separate, and that's what's happened here. So this is that nut is fully torqued up, but there's still quite a bit of play in the wheel bearing. Kind of difficult to show you on camera, but yeah, just take my word for it, there's far too much play in that, and that is all in the wheel bearing. So unfortunately, back apart, shaft back out, and we have to change the wheel bearing. Right, we're pretty much done underneath here. So we've got everything hooked up, fuel tank's back in, anti-roll bars hooked up, brakes have been bled, handbrake cables are on. Might need to adjust the handbrake slightly, but that's all looking pretty good. So possibly adjust the handbrake and chuck the wheels back on it. Finally have a radiator for it, so I'm gonna chuck the rad on and bleed her up. So I'll show you that process. The rad we've gone with is a Marley unit. This is the OEM brand for it. The only thing is it's now made in China, so it may or may not do the job. It might not do the job, it might do the job, but as long as it doesn't leak, I'm happy. So let's get this open up and we can chuck her in. Right, we've got the rad all installed, and I've dropped the car back down on its wheels. So I'll talk you through my bleed procedure. So this is a tried and tested method to bleed your radiator. Let's do it. Right, so first things first, this does still need a shroud on it, but we'll worry about that later. You want your bleeder valve undone, not completely removed, just undo it, cap off. We're going to go in the car, we're going to put the ignition on, we're going to go fan speed low but temperature high. And then we are going to begin filling with water and coolant. We'll go with water first. Right, I've now filled a couple of litres of water, litre or so of coolant, and now I'm just going to carry on topping off with water. And what we want to do is brim this level to the top, and we should see at some point some water or coolant coming out the bleeder valve. That's when we know that it's pushed the bulk of the air out, so any second now. Should see there's a little bit of coolant just coming out the bleeder valve, just in there. So basically what that means is all of the air has been expelled, so we've got coolant there, so we can shut that off fully. Don't over tighten it because these love to snap off and round off and all of the good stuff. Right, now we're going to start the engine. Leave the cap off for a second. There we go. So what we want to do now, it's started, we're going to just give it a couple of revs just to get the coolant flowing around, make sure there's no big air pockets. Re-top off the coolant level back to the top of the cap, shut the cap, and then this car's not MOT, so I can't take it on the road. Either leave it to sit there to run for 20 minutes or take it up and down the road. But the next stage would be, you want to check that you've got heat in the cabin, because that tells you your heater valve is working and your heater matrix is working. So we should have heat in there pretty quickly. When I say heat, it should be hot to the touch. And then once we've got heat in there, the next thing we're looking for is making sure that the thermostat opens. So this bottom hose should be scalding hot, the same as the top hose, and it can take a while. If the ambient temperature is cold, obviously it will take longer. It's hot, it's like 20 degrees now. So within 15 minutes, I'd say the thermostat should be open. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll get this bled. Right, and you join me a little while on. I did end up jacking this side of the car up, because this, you probably can't get it on camera, but this yard is on a downward slope. So just to get the car level, it's not really in the air. Some people say you've got to get this side up higher, just level really. And yeah, she's bled, thermostat's open, we've got heat in the cabin. So that's bled. What you want to do at this point is turn the car off, and then a couple hours later just pop the cap off and just double check the coolant level. It might need topping up. There's a line halfway down the expansion tank, that's what it should be when it's cold. And then drive the car for a week or so, and then, or maybe 100 miles, ideally with a bit of motorway use, and then just recheck the level, because you will have guaranteed there'll be a little bit of air trapped in there, which will need pushing out. So that's pretty much it for this one. That's the car virtually ready for an MOT. Need to do some basic checks, like check the lights, just a quick once over on bits and pieces, but yeah, she's pretty much ready for an MOT. I've got a little bit more sound deadening to pull off, which I may or may not do today, just to finish off that part of it. But other than that, she's pretty much ready for an MOT. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon in another one. Peace.